Hello everyone, Dana 14th Prime here. Today I want to check out with you guys the Transformers The Last Night Autobot Hot Rod. This is a deluxe class figure. In the States it's going to be a Walmart exclusive, so it'd be like the typical Premier Edition $20 deluxe that we've been seeing from the movie line. Checking them out through the front of the box there. Some artwork of Bumblebee and Hot Rod in the corner. Side of the box here, some more cool artwork of Hot Rod, Brash Warrior. And then the other side is what has kind of got the artwork wrap effect with Hot Rod coming around the side. And when we get to the back here, pretty standard product shots. He's a Lamborghini in the movie. After he scans from what looks to be some old classic kind of British car as his first ride, he then scans to become this Lamborghini. And if interested, you can pause and read his blurb up there in the box. Alright, so that's the packaging. Pretty typical. Really the only unique stuff is this Autobots Unite logos that we're seeing up here versus the Premier Edition kind of logoing. I've brought this in internationally. Again, I'll leave some links in the description below. I think eBay is probably the best place you can jump out and get them shipped for like 35 bucks. So it's not too bad if you don't want to wait for Walmart or you're just having a hard time finding him whenever he drops. Let's pop this guy out of the box and check him out. Okay, so here is Hot Rod out of the box, and that is what you get. Just the figure, no accessories. A little curious because he has a pretty cool gun in the movie, which I won't spoil for anyone, but he does not come with that weapon. But I will say it is a pretty sharp looking bot for deluxe class for this line, and a very, very sharp looking alt mode with the Lamborghini. Let's dive in closer and check this guy out. Here we have Hot Rod, the Frenchman. That's a classic British car that's a brand new Italian Lamborghini. He's a heavy retool of Age of Extinction Lockdown. I can't find that figure to put him side by side, but overall it's much improved here. He's taller, bulkier, kind of everything would have been nice for Lockdown to be. Just to give you a sense of scale, here he is next to a couple other Last Night figures. You got Barricade there, who's a bit of a stockier deluxe class figure. If memory serves, Bumblebee would come up to about the top of his shoulder, where Bumblebee's head would be. And then you've got Prime Voyager class over there on the right, of course. So, I'd say Hot Rod's, a bit of a taller deluxe class figure. Okay, let me just finish giving him the spin around for you so you can check him out at all angles here. I think it's a pretty good bot mode, and I think the paint apps are pretty good as well, so he's definitely on par, if not better, than a lot of the other Premier Edition deluxe class figures. Since they're using that old Lockdown mold, I think you get a better Transformer. I mean, the newer ones tend to be more and more panel formers. This guy is a little bit cleaner, but he's still definitely got some drawbacks as well, which we'll take a look at, like his hands, like some of the articulation in his legs. Okay, so let's dive in a bit closer here, take a look at the head sculpt, and I think it's pretty good. It's definitely got the right recognizable look. It's got, several colors of paint application on there. I think the head sculpt's good, and I think they generally have been for this Premier Edition line, so I've been pretty happy overall with the head sculpts. And if we just go down and figure, I mean, it's not bad, right? He's got some, shoulder kibble there, but it kind of fits the part a little bit. I think the chest section looks really good. The car is like super sleek, and how that shines through in the bot, I think just looks really, really good. Got the big wide chest, nice and shiny. There you can kind of start to see the hands. They're just fixed, molded on the inside there. You can't really move them. They're just a panel on the outside, as you'll see, so I don't love that. But then down the bot here, a lot of good detail through that midsection. That hips and everything looks good. And there's a lot of good paint apps down into the legs. Silver, kind of a gunmetal gray, the red accents and everything. And then the feet as well. Nice bot feet. Down the side of the figure here, I don't mind some of this kind of wheel kibble. I think it looks cool. It looks realistic. Don't know if it's all CGI accurate, but it's definitely, I think, fits and it works for me. You get the arm, and again, you just have a panel down into where the hand would be. So I don't love that. And you can just see, again, some of that good detailing down the leg. The red paint. Mine's pretty sharp. It turned out pretty clean for me. Back of the figure here, again, pretty clean. The whole top of the car folds into 2 or 3 or 4 maybe, I don't know, panels to kind of stow everything away, so that looks good. It helps a lot to flatten it out, though he does kind of have this butt hang of the beginning of the front of the Lamborghini. Kind of hangs between its legs, and it's a bit of a shame because that piece bends as well and articulates. So it seems like there could have been an extra fold there that they missed. I'm just going to get a hold of this guy. I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty good. Again, head sculpt there. I think is good. Detailing through the chest. You can check out some of these legs. Get the arm out of the way there. I mean, some of that paint detailing. It looks good, and it's all pretty clean. So, I'm pretty happy with it for a deluxe class $20 figure. It's as good, if not better, I think, than the others. You can take a look at that hand that I'm talking about. Just kind of molded in there on the panel, and you can't do anything about it. So for articulation for this guy, it's pretty standard. The arms are kind of on a ball joint here, but you're going to have to just maneuver across the backpack and stuff, but it can be done. These things will help you out a little bit. The elbow, kind of 90-ish. Comes nice and straight. So you get about a good 90-degree range of motion there. The waist is nothing because all this backpack is holding it together. He's got a swivel in there, but it's for transformation. Nothing at the hands, as I've mentioned. The head, it's going to spin and get a bit of look down, a bit of look up, but not much. It's just restricted. But down into the legs for articulation, he does the splits really well. He's got like hinges there. You get a nice knee. That's good. You get a swivel at the knee. That's good. The foot will kind of point like that, which is mainly a transformation thing. The legs will kick out. It is like super tight. I mean, you see how that looks. You don't have your typical ball joint in there. You've got this plastic rod basically just going through the center of the figure. I don't know if that's one or if they're just attached in there as well, but it makes moving the leg forward feel like it's just going to break. And it is very limited by the backpack as well. So that's a bit tough. This figure has a couple places that feel pretty fragile. That is one of them. So to transform the figure, as you can probably imagine, first we want to just depeg the whole backpack. So there's a peg here. Break that open and just extend everything. We come down to the feet, point the toes, and give them a rotation in because they have a peg right there on the heel that needs to go together. Next is what I believe is one of the more fragile parts of the figure. He has this joint here that will twist. It's basically just like a little mushroom peg. Give that a bit of a twist. Very fragile. Come up to the top of the car here. He's got these panels that will flip out from the sides. Let's give those a pull out. They're kind of underneath. They'll be like the rear window panels. Next, let's fold up the legs. So we want to kind of just crunch this down. This is an area of some tight tolerances. I like to kind of turn the head a bit too. I don't know, I find that helps. But if you don't get this right, you'll find the car is hard to get together in the front. So we want to swing the legs from here. And his head go between the legs. Again, make sure you've got this nice and flat. Otherwise, you'll struggle getting the top of the car down. Let's kind of open up the chest pieces here. Then another pretty fragile spot is just bringing down this whole roof section. Because there is a lever here that is tight, so I just like to make sure you're grabbing low to loosen that. Flatten that out. This is another piece. Go ahead and make that nice and tight for now. And let's try to flatten this guy out. Should be able to get the front of the car together here. There we go. Make sure those rear window panels are flipped out. I think we're in pretty good shape. For the arms, spin them at the shoulder and then flip them out again. Or you can just, flip it out, but then you'll see obviously it's facing the wrong way, so you spin it, get the wheels the right way. And then the arms are going to fold underneath. And this panel here can be kind of fickle. You want to get behind it and push all that together. There's a nice peg up here by the front wheel into the hood, so look for that. Again, kind of push that panel out. Same thing on this side, and again, we're getting a lot of panels just moving around here, so we're gonna be kind of shaking it loose and getting it all back together. And then the last thing is just the rear section here. These shoulder pieces are going to come up to complete the back of the figure. And then you're basically just going to finagle with this thing till all the panels click in nice and neat. Okay, and after finishing touches of pitching everything all together, this is what you get. I think this is an awesome, awesome looking alt mode. Really sharp looking Lamborghini. You can check this thing out. I mean, it just looks really, really great. Nice big wheels, the rims are sweet, really low to the ground, but, still rolls very, very well. Really slick looking front end, just shows how low that thing is. You got the bowl there on the hood, a nice tint to the window. The red trim underneath the car, really sharp. Even some of the detailing in the wheels you can see. Autobot logo on this side as well. The mirrors are molded on there, pretty nice. And back of the car there, it's pretty clean as well. Yeah, so this thing, there's the underside. I mean, it all just kind of tucks in pretty well, so that's not too bad. Pretty typical. And top side, some of this nice detailing back through here. On the hood as well. A very nice looking alt mode. I'll just do a few showroom picks. Luxury imports. Be a nice summertime ride. Kids don't really need to go to college, do they? So yeah, really digging the alt mode. Absolutely beautiful looking car. And I think the paint all works pretty well too. So obviously a lot of the premium paint's in the bot mode. But I think the car doesn't really suffer at all. It isn't really missing anything either. So if we want to go back, let's go ahead and break off these back end sections here, which will be his shoulders. And then we'll kind of pull out the arms. Give that a flip and a twist. Or if you prefer a twist and a flip, either way. And we want to unpeg the whole middle section. And this is, again, this moves, and it feels like they could have used that panel for a little bit of extra dekibbling, let's say. But let's just kind of unfold the guy here. Again, my least favorite kind of peg. Give it a twist there. And you can kind of put his chest a little bit more together. Part the legs. Twist them back forward. Put the feet out. We come up here. I turned his head, so we'll get that turned around. And then we just want to fold up this whole section. One of my other least favorite joints there. Get that off the roof there. Fold that up. Again, it would just be nice if this could have slipped through there or something to take away some of that kibble. But it's not going to do it. It's just going to kind of fold up on the back. Like that. And we're just going to kind of bring everything down. And this peg, where's it at? There it is. That peg will go right there, midsection. And then these panels, you know, they come in to help kind of create just some side effect and just be out of the way generally. So there you go. And this is, pretty subtle. Feels like you can, it kind of works either way. So subtle. That's all the way wide. And then if you put them together, it's like that. So not really a big difference either way. Almost might look better with it wide, quite frankly. Personal preference there, but I think technically it should be together. So there he is, guys. Transformers the last night. Hot Rod, the Frenchman, in the U.S. exclusive to Walmart, which is kind of like an oxymoron because Walmart's the largest retailer in the world. So the word exclusive just doesn't seem to fit. But in the States, that's where you have to go to buy it. Should be $20. Again, check eBay. Link in the description below. $35, I think you can generally get him delivered to your door for. I do like the figure. I think it's got a couple of those joint transformation bits that are just really, really fragile and on some small parts to make it happen. And in bot mode, my only complaints are really the hand being covered with panels on the back, and then the leg articulation also just being kind of scary and not very great at the thigh. But again, $20 mass market figure, not going to be perfect. And for what it is, pretty happy with it overall. All right, guys, thanks for checking in. Hope you liked the video. See you next time.